Good afternoon, S3. Today we are going to be looking at taking our exemplar block from our IQ puzzle model from 2 weeks ago, and we are going to turn it into what's called an orthographic sketch. An orthographic sketch looks at the three views. So we're looking at it from this side, the green side. We'd be looking at it from the yellow side, showing the yellow and the purple face. And we'd also be looking at it from the top. So that would be the magenta and the orange face. Now, each of these faces get three distinct names: elevation, end elevation, and plan, looking down from the top. So let's get cracking, and I will show you how we set out an orthographic sketch. Step 1. I'm going to sketch out the front face of this block. So, you could use a straight edge if it helps. In fact, I would encourage you to use a straight edge. That way you're ensuring that you've got perfectly straight, neat lines. If you are going to freehand it, just like what I'm doing right now, please go over it with a straight edge and do it nice and light. That way we're ensuring everything is neat and professional looking in our sketch. So I'm just going to go over this nice and dark now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's what the front view would look like. That's the green view, just sketched out, that little bit darker. And can we remember what that front view is called? It's called the elevation. So I'm going to write that underneath. I'm going to write that in block capitals, nothing too big. Elevation. That's the front view. Now, what I then need to look at doing is getting this view and this view, the side view coming in from that side, is obviously going to be on this side of my paper, right here. So the height we know is the same. So a simple thing that I can do is I can take my ruler and I can draw some very light lines across. 1, 2, very light across my paper. Then about the width of my ruler, I would say, just separate it. 1, and the width of it is about the same width as it is there. So we'll look at that, eyeball it to about there. Remember, it's a sketch, it's not done numerically. It is just a sketch to there, 2. So across there to there, and this line here, if I project that across, there we go. So if I go over this nice and dark, we can see 1, 2. And for those of us that can't remember, the name of this is called the end elevation. So, end elevation. Now, I want to project upwards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to project that up and this line up there as well. And I want this top edge, so we're talking the pink and the orange, and I want it to be sitting up here. How am I going to get it up to there? Well, I want that width to be there. I could measure it, but there's an easier way. It's called a bounce line. So I'm going to take my pencil and my ruler. I'm going to project at a roughly an angle of 45 degrees. From here to here is 90 degrees, so half of that is 45. So, nice and light. If we can see that there, apologies over the shadows. And I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to lightly project this line up and this line here up. So that's it projected up. So it comes up to the line and up to the line. Then, trusted ruler again, I'm going to project it back across. So it comes up to this line, it's a bounce line, it hits the line and it bounces at 90 degrees across. 1, 2. Why do we use a 45-degree bounce line? It ensures that it's the same width here as here, so it transposes up. This doesn't look quite the same width. That may very well be because my bounce line is probably about 47 or 48 degrees. It's a sketch. We're demonstrating the process of orthographic sketching. So now that I've got this top shape, okay, I can project upwards from the top here, so I get this, so I get the pink box in the right position. So if I project this upwards, like that, lightly, and then up onto my rectangle, this is where it all comes into play. So if I go over this nice and dark with my ruler here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just erase some of that off there. That line's just a bit wonky. Something went wrong with my sketching there, or my ruler work there. There we go, that's a bit better. So we can see we've got the elevation, the end elevation, and the plan. I'm going to label this as plan. Okay, so to help you see your way about this sketch that I've just made, I'm going to add some colour to it. You yourself would not. All you're going to be doing is doing your own sketch, but it just helps for you to visualise what we've got in place. So we have yellow, yellow. We have directly above it the purple side. Purple. We have on here, we have our green side. This green, okay. So we'll go the green. Apologies, my green isn't the same green as what we have. That's what's been printed. But lockdown has meant I've been unable to get a decent set of markers. I'm working with old markers I've had lying about for some time. And teacher wages and all, can't afford to order them online because we're poor, we're underpaid. Next one is the top. The top, again, I don't have a magenta, I'll go with pink, it's the closest thing I have sitting in my arsenal here. There we go. And this orange one, well, my little girl stole my orange marker, so I'm just going to use the next best thing, red. There we are. To clarify how this all looks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. We're take my paper round. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there we go. So that gives us an idea of how both these sides look when we compare it to this, to this. These would be the views, the corresponding views that we have. Missing a few things from my worksheet today. Kind of important, really. One of them is my name. So, Mr. Harrison. Today's date is the 14th of May. And this is Orthographic Exemplar. And it is S3 Graphics. Really important you have that detail on your paper. Without it, we wouldn't grade it if we were in the class, and it would be binned. That would, we're not playing the process of elimination when we get our works in. So it's good to get into a habit of getting our names onto things. Next week, again, we're focusing on orthographics. We'll look at how this block of details get laid out, as is a more formal way. But we're looking at, the basics. Are we getting the right views? And are we using a bounce line? The bounce line is important because it transfers all the information across from the front to the side, from the side to the plan. And it ensures dimensions remain the same width across. Any questions? Hit up your teacher either by email or by messaging through Google Classrooms. Your task for the rest of the week is your previous blocks that you were doing, the oblique blocks 2 weeks ago. You are to put them into orthographic. Okay, class, so clarification on the task that you are being asked to do. You will be asked to do block 1 as an orthographic. Front is here. Front. End elevation, plan from above. Block 2. Front. That's elevation, end elevation, plan for above. Time you get to block 3, things become a little bit trickier. The front is this side. It's to the left, with the end elevation being on this side, just above the text down here. That would be the end elevation, and the plan still remains the same, so it would be these two parts of the block there. Then you're to do the case. The case is square, so it doesn't matter if you're doing it from the front elevation here or the front elevation here. It will always be the same, but the plan would be looking down from above, the bird's eye view. All of the time you would be using your 45-degree bounce line. The exemplar will be uploaded as well. Feel free to try the exemplar. We'll not be grading you on the exemplar this week. The exemplar is the teacher's copy. So there's no marks to gain from copying what the teacher does. The marks are gained based on your ability to do the task yourself. Thank you.